Hey guys, X-Bambi here. This scandal involving YG is getting more and more messy day by day. At this point, I'm honestly confused. For those who don't know, just to clarify, quick summary. B.I., former member of ikon, left YG Entertainment due to allegedly attempting to purchase drugs. Hyun-suk, or YHS, former owner of YG Entertainment, is under fire because he seems to be covering up these types of scenarios with his artists. In other words, he didn't want the public to know that his artists have attempted or have purchased and used drugs. This means that Yang has ties to the law enforcement in South Korea. Keep in mind, this drug case with B.I. happened in 2016, meaning that we did not know about this alleged purchase until this year. Well, at least I didn't. Moving on, let's discuss what's happening more recently. The alleged drug dealer, A, has been revealed to be actually a woman named hyun-suk. She apparently was a former YG Entertainment trainee, but the company had denied she's ever been one. I don't know much about this woman, but it seems as though she's come back for attention. Yet there is evidence that she knows of B.I. and Yang Hyun-suk. Apparently, because hyun-suk had admitted to taking the drugs as well as supplying them to B.I. in August 2016, Yang had threatened her to change her testimony with authorities. But she has proof that she was in the building during this time. Yang can deny all that he wants, but the truth seems to finally be coming out. If she was in his office within that time frame, that would mean that he indeed threatened her to change her testimony. It all lines up. She took a photo of her being in the building in that time frame. So that part of her story lines up. I do agree and think that something fishy is going on there. I do think that hyun-suk is a bit opportunistic, but at the same time, I do think she's telling the truth to an extent. She was being threatened to change her testimony back then and was appointed an attorney by Yang himself to protect one of his artists. Doesn't that seem a bit extensive for one artist? If Yang truly has ties to law enforcement, can you imagine how many other artists within YG had used drugs and weren't caught? hyun-suk was smart to have evidence that she was in that building. I'm sure it was intimidating for her to be threatened by a man of huge success. But she isn't completely innocent either. You've done drugs, you've supplied them to B.I. and how many other artists, and now you're back involved in this scandal, and your name is out there. However, it was wrong of B.I. to take these drugs and lie about not doing them. He admitted to purchasing them, but he claimed that he did not do them. I think Yang is the worst though, he has the worst predicament in this scenario. Not only did you cover the drug usage of one of your artists, at least one of your artists, you lied about hyun-suk being a trainee, in my opinion. If she wasn't a trainee, how would she know about B.I. and have access into the YG Entertainment building? I truly do think Yang had threatened her, and I do think he has ties to the South Korea law enforcement, hence why the case is now in the hands of the Supreme Public Prosecutor Office. Foul play was definitely involved somewhere, and none of the parties involved are innocent, but I do think that one party is more evil than the other. Yang, you wouldn't have been feeling guilty unless you knew you did something wrong. That's why you left your own company, and so did your brother. You know something is wrong and is about to happen or come up during the investigation, and rather facing the consequences, you simply left the company. Take responsibility for your artists. How you're just going to leave them like that? I truly don't agree with that. I don't think B.I. will be able to come back to the company or be part of ikon because of this alleged scandal. I think it's becoming bigger and bigger day by day, the more information that's coming out in the news and the media. I'm not personally affected by this because although I do think that ikon songs are good, at least some of them, their music isn't particularly my style, but they're still talented. So I know that some of the fandom that were huge fans of ikon are being horribly affected by this, and I'm sorry that they're feeling the way that they're feeling. One of their beloved group members is going through a troubling time. But again, this poses the question of, well, how many other YG Entertainment artists have allegedly done drugs and it was just simply swept under the rug? Nothing is being done to properly address this situation. I don't know what's going to happen beyond here. although I do hope that some sort of resolution is resolved. I do think that Yang should be held accountable for what he's done and what he's doing, because you wouldn't have left the company, so soon unless you knew you were guilty for something. It doesn't make sense. You could continue to say that all these allegations are false, or that you didn't do anything, or that you didn't try to cover up anything, or that you didn't threaten someone, but foul play was definitely involved. You were in the position of money and power to get things taken care of and get things done. That's what people that have ill intent in their hearts do. And I do think he was one of those individuals. So I don't think you're innocent. I think you're of the greater evil here, Young, and that's my opinion on all of this. Take responsibility for your artist. You should have done that while being CEO of your company. Or I'm sorry, the brother was the CEO, whatever. Anyways, what do you guys think? Please comment down below what you think of the situation. Do you agree with what I've said or disagree? Is Han-Shahi telling the truth? Do you think Yang is the greater evil here? Does he need to be held accountable as well?